What's going on, YouTube modeling community? Pappy here at West Georgia Rods and Customs. I haven't done a tutorial video in quite a while, and a lot of the Facebook groups that I'm on, sometimes we're in a hangout. Some of the most popular questions that's ever asked to, a lot of us builders on YouTube is, number one, do you spray with a rattle can or do you spray with a airbrush? I do a combination of both. Sometimes just depends on how lazy I am. But one of the hot topics lately is airbrushing versus rattle can. So with that being said, I do a lot of airbrushing now. Now that I've got some good airbrushes, but some of the colors that's available out there, you might want to use like what I'm using right here. Some of the colors that are available, might be available through, say Model Master or something like that, or maybe Tamiya, but it's in a rattle can. But you want to use your airbrush. What we're going to hit on right now is how to decant. And a lot of people, they go, what is decanting, Pappy? Well, decanting is getting the spray paint from this to a container like this in order to drop into your airbrush. I'm going to give y'all a quick tip how I like to decant paint. I've already been doing some already. This is a color by Model Master. It's a lacquer paint. I like using lacquers due to the fact that they dry quickly, and it's a lot of products out there are it's compatible with other lacquers out there. This is Grabber Orange. I'm fixing to spray on one of my builds I've got coming up, but I wanted to decant the paint out before I, that way, because it allows to gas out. Now, what does it mean by gassing out? Allowing it to gas out, and what we're going to hit on a lot of the subjects in this video about. You'll hear me talk about gassing out and decanting and so forth. Okay, how do you decant, Pappy? Here's the first thing. Let me get a lot of this out of the way. The first thing that I like to do is to make a. You just can't take a container and just spray it, because you'll get an overspray all over you. But I'm going to show y'all how I do this with minimal, and you can see I've already decanted about half of this bottle right here, and I have no splashes, splutters, or anything. So what we do is I take a lot of that you're familiar with these. These are pipettes. You can get these in any of your hobby shops, Hobby Lobby, things like that, places like that. And we usually just pick, draw it up by mashing the bulb. What I do is I'll take I'll cut the end of it off with a pair of scissors, and I'll pull the top off of the which I'm not doing that color. I'll pull the top off of this. Just pull it straight out of there. Once you cut the end of that off, you'll hot glue, and that's why I've got my hot glue gun out here. Once you'll hot glue that, and here, this is the one that I've already made. You can see what I've done right here is I've hot glued that right into this end of this pipette. I took a water bottle cap, which we drink Dasani. These are the green ones. I had some clear ones that I saved these little caps for a lot of different reasons. I mix epoxy in them. I use them for this, a lot of different things. They have different uses for in the hobby shop. But what I'll do is I'll take this bottle top, and I'll cut a round hole right in there. Then I'll hot glue that, as you can see, right through there. Take the spray tip, hot glue that right there, and you're ready to decant. Set your hot glue gun right over there. And I'm going to show y'all how I decant. Get that pushed on there. Very simple. See how clean, watch how clean this is. You always say you got to shake. Well, just take your little handy dandy thing off right here. You always want to make sure that you want to make sure that your paint's stirred up. Then just take and just give it a couple quick bursts. I've almost got this this thing full. Here, now that is gassing out right there. And what do I mean by gassing out? Gassing out is the propellant that's in this can. This is the CO2 that's in this can that pushes the product out. And as you spray it in here, I don't know, you can't really see, but you see a lot of bubbles in here. Now, when I say gassing out, we're letting that gas evaporate out of this paint, because you cannot, if I was to take that right now and put that into my airbrush and try to spray it, that would be the biggest, it just don't look good. You got to let this gas out. Now, I usually let it gas out 24 hours. And the way I let it gas out is I take the lid, stick it back on here. You got a little top that these are on, and it's just a little bitty hole right there. I just put that back over. I don't snap it back in. I just I'll leave it out here in the shop all night. Let that gas out. Then in the morning, I'll bring it back out here, or I'll come back out, put the cap, snap the cap on there, shake it up real good. If you still see a lot of foaming coming up in there, there's still aerosol trapped into the paint. But if you leave this cap off just like this, and just leave it, just where it's sitting like that, that gas will escape. That CO2 will escape right out of there. When you're finished removing all the paint out of this can, as in I'm pretty sure, well, I still got a little bit, but I hadn't got a whole lot left. I always like to, and of course I'm getting a little bit of drips, but you're not getting any of the overspray on your hands, and I always use these. You might get some drippage. That's why I've got the paper towels down right here. But all I'm gonna do is set that right over there and throw that away. And I'm ready if I wanted to can another color. I always like to leave a little bit in the can for later on. That way, just in case if I needed to touch up something with maybe a brush or something like that, still got a little bit left in the can. So, but we'll set that right there. But usually 24 hours is usually sufficient to allow the, the trapped CO2 in, as far as in these bottles. But I just dropped off my little tap. But we'll set that over to the side, come back in the morning, check and see if it's got a little foam in it. And if it don't, we'll be ready to spray, possibly tomorrow. Anyhow, hope this tip helps anybody out. If you got any questions or anything, feel free to drop me a comment down in the bottom of the comment bar down here, and I'll answer them as quick as I can. Hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. I always say, if you can dream it, build it. God bless y'all. Pappy out of here.